Hi guys, and welcome to Air Ability. I think it's the beginning of the year and it's also the beginning of the Benchrest UK season, and I think it's a good time for me to reflect on my experiences shooting for the first year on the Benchrest UK tour. First of all, I just wanted to say that I joined the tour last year in July, and I must admit immediately I was made welcome, and there were a lot of people there to help, give advice, and generally wind you up. And I felt at home straight away. Um, we've already had a warm up event this year. We all went to Portishead for a club event in March, and that was fantastic. So I actually did quite well. I came fourth in the light varmint class out of about 30 people, and I came fourth overall in the weekend's aggregate. So I'm quite happy about that. Although it wasn't an official Benchrest UK tournament, it had all the familiar faces there. So it was a good indicator of how I might be able to shoot over the coming season. So the Benchrest UK tour starts off in Derby at the end of May, and I understand there are still a few places available if anybody's interested in coming along and giving Benchrest a go. For anybody who doesn't know who Benchrest UK are, just have a look in the video description below. There's a link to them. They basically are the backbone of air rifle and rimfire Benchrest in the UK, and all their competitions are organised to world rules. And also, if you ever want to qualify for the World Championships, Benchrest UK is the avenue that you've got to choose to do that. What I will say is that all the tournaments I've been to so far are very professionally run over 2 days, and they've even got things like electronic microscopes to mark the cards to make sure nobody gets an extra X that they shouldn't. Damn. Anyway, so one thing I want to talk to you about today is our friends at Benchrest UK. They have on their website, they have a whole host of stuff available for the shooter, as well as things like, the normal club and organisational merchandise like hats and mugs and t-shirts and, I don't know, hoodies and stuff like that. They do a really good range of targets. Now, this is an official Benchrest UK World Rules target. And I don't know if people understand how these work, but essentially the red targets here are for your sighters, for you to practice. And the 25 blue targets are the ones that are scored in the competition. And you've got 20 minutes to shoot as many sighters as you want, but you've got to make sure you shoot your 25 competition targets in that time. The bull is 2 millimeters across, so even at 25 meters with a touch of wind, it really is still a achievement hitting the bull. Now these cards, I'll be honest with you, I do everything from print my own practice cards off. I bought cards from other organisations and companies, but these Benchrest UK cards are made from a really thick card. They punch a beautifully clean hole with the pellet, and when you put the gauge in, they gauge very accurately as well when you push the gauge through the hole to make sure you're getting that perfect 2-2 hole. Because some people may not know you need to shoot a calibre of 2-2 or less in Benchrest. And what we do is, if you're shooting 177, we put a gauge in the hole to make sure you're getting the full value of a 2-2 pellet. So that's a good thing to know. So everybody's marked at 2-2. So these cards are really thick. Also, they have a magazine-like lacquer covering to them. So even in damp conditions and drizzly conditions, they still work very well, which in the UK is a fantastic idea. And they're actually the only Benchrest targets I've seen with this lacquer covering on. Now, the thing is with these targets is, when you're shooting and you're practicing, you want to practice as close to the conditions that you're gonna meet when you go to a competition. Now, these targets are the perfect thing to do it on, but for me, and you know how we always like to make life easier, there's a lot of changing targets because, every 20-25 minutes you are changing your target for a new one. And, if you find it hard getting up and down to your target box like I do, it can be a bit of a pain. So, Benchrest UK have come up with a practice target. And here it is. It has exactly the same attributes as the the official match target, the glossy finish, the thick card, the practice targets on the side. But here, if you can see, there's about 190 odd bullseyes with 9 rings printed on this card. So you can sit, basically, there's a few hours entertainment here without having to go and change your target. And that's fantastic because I can just set up, and the ever suffering Mrs. G helps me out set up, and she can just stick one of these up and I'm happy for hours. How good is that? Eh? It's the only thing that keeps me happy for hours. So I just wanted to say that these two different types of targets are available on the Benchrest UK website. Again, link in the description to this video. When you think that you've got about, I don't know, 190 bulls or whatever on this card, and they're coming out at, pennies each, this is good entertainment and good value for money when you're practicing and when you've honed your skills and you just want to see what would happen in a competition and see how you'd, when you test your mettle against the best, how well you'd do. You can shoot a few of these targets and transfer your skills across. So these, to be honest, are a mainstay of my practice regime, and I don't think it can get better in the UK. Also, just a quick shameless plug for this fantastic organisation, Benchrest UK, the continually accepting members. If you look on the website, all the up and coming tournaments are always advertised on there. They also have a fantastic Facebook group which posts a lot of information on the Airability Facebook group as well about what's up and coming in the future. And to be honest, I'm proud to have some links to this organisation and the solid, upstanding people who run it. Anyway, one thing you've got to remember before I go, if you're using these targets, always have a safe backstop and take care.